Freestyle Repertory Theater and Synergy Theater proudly present Right Away. It's a show. It's a jam. It's the best of both worlds. And now, the hosts who need no introduction, your host for the show.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Right Away. I'm Kat Coppett. I'm the co-director of the MOPCO Improv Theater in Schenectady. I am also a former member of both Synergy and Freestyle Repertory Theater.
And I'm Laura Livingston. I'm the artistic director of Freestyle Repertory Theater, one of the co-producers of tonight's show. We're really happy to have you here today.
That's right. Tonight's show, Right Away, is a co-production between Freestyle Rep in New York and Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California. Two companies divided by a continent, but united in a belief that improvisation is an important theatrical art form.
We started presenting Right Away back in May of 2020 out of a desire to keep creative people creating together in spite of the isolation and uncertainty that we had going on back then. And now as we begin to step back into in-person 3D life, we are still doing Right Away out of a desire to keep creative people creating together in spite of distance. And we intend to keep doing this show that we discovered out of necessity as long as you all keep showing up to do it.
So here we are. Here's how the show works. We have 5 playwrights who will have 45 minutes to write a brand new play based on suggestions from you, the audience.
And while they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that's us who are listening right now, are invited to play some improv games with me and Kat. I think you'll want to use a paper and pencil. A lot of people find that works best because that way you can still see what's happening on the screen while you're writing. And after each little writing game, we'll have as many of you as want to read some of what you've written. And I encourage you, if you're new to the show, to do read. Don't worry at all if it's good enough or not. That's not what we're about. We're just really interested to see how many different directions the same idea can take. And it's improvised, so everything is great. And then at the end of our jam, the end of 45 minutes, the playwrights will come back on and they will present the world premiere of their brand new work.
It is amazing. Before we introduce tonight's playwrights, we have just a few things to go over with you in the category of housekeeping. For those who are participating here live via Zoom, we ask that you keep yourself muted and your videos off for now while we do this part. But in a few minutes, we're going to ask you, as we start the writing jam, to invite you to turn on your videos and come back on screen. And we would love it if you would do that, because this show is streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want your video, when your video is on, let me say that again, Laura. Here's the deal. Right now, your video is off. When we start the jam, we're going to invite you to turn your video on to participate. When you do that, you should know that we are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So when it's on, you may be seen by more people than are in the room, because we do have millions of wild fans who have now got on the Right Away train. So, you have to be willing to be a minor celebrity if you do that.
But we're here, that's all.
That's right. But it's worth it, because the more we can see each other, the more we participate, the more support we have for each other, the more fun and laughter and general goodwill will be generated. So the more fun you will have. Lastly, we invite you to open up the chat feature, which you will find if you hover your cursor over the bottom center of your screen. And there's a little thing that says chat. Because we will be asking for suggestions, and that is how you will be able to give them to our playwrights in just a moment.
All right, and speaking of playwrights, let's meet them. Our first one is a founding member of Freestyle Repertory Theater, as well as our executive director. He developed and appears in our video series, Home Fooling, Teach Your Families to Play Improv Games with Me. And lately, he has been exploring the art of teaching and performing improvisational theater in New York City public schools while wearing a mask. He also works in New York City as an actor in scripted theater. Please welcome Michael Durkin. Mike.
Hey, everybody. By the way, I find the mask very helpful in controlling the behavior of the children.
Oh, really?
Because I wear a Frankenstein mask.
Oh,
You just scare the shit out
That
of
would
them.
do
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. I scare the poop out of them.
Yep, there goes all the YouTube.
we're gonna have to
I'm
put
sorry.
that explicit little tag on our
Right.
video.
I'll go away. I'll go away.
All right. All right. We'll talk to you later, Mike. Get out of here.
All right. Well, our next playwright is in her third season as a company member with Monday Night Playground in the San Francisco Bay Area. Her short play, Pebbles on a Shore, was featured online in the Playwright Center of San Francisco Playoffs last July. Just last Monday, her brand new play, 3 centimeters per second, received an in-person 3D staged reading at Freight and Salvage in Berkeley, California. She also writes essays, short stories, and lyrics. Please welcome Lisa Gay Thompson.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Tell us all about your staged reading.
It was fantastic. I was so thrilled with the actors and the director and the tech, and everything just went perfectly. And I got that great feeling of, for the first time, really, of seeing something that I wrote just come alive the way I wanted it to be. So.
And the audience actually responding in real time as you could hear them. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, that little dialogue that we've been missing between actor and audience in all of our Zoom adventures.
It was great to be in a theater. Yeah.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, we'll try to give you a little bit of a little sliver of that experience here
I
tonight.
get that here every month.
Excited to have you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for being here.
See you in a bit. Our next playwright began her improv career in Seattle with Unexpected Productions at the Market Theater, and she's been performing with Freestyle Rep since 2001. Her play, Where's the Baby? Parenting in Pieces, received a pre-pandemic staged reading at the Barrow Group here in New York City, where she's currently taking an online playwriting masterclass with our frequent right away guest playwright, Arlene Hutton. Please welcome Laura Valpy. Hello, Laura Valpy. Like the glasses.
This is the best I could do. You guys all looked really amazing.
Hey, Bailey, I want to welcome you to the audience here and just invite you to turn your camera off for now. We're going to ask you to turn it back on in just a bit. See you in a bit, Bailey. Laura Valpy, what's it like? You've been doing right away since the beginning.
Yeah.
Things have changed. We do a lot more bopping around, running around outside than we did at the very beginning. How is that changing your approach to the show tonight? How do you come into our Zoom theater differently?
Insert really smart, witty reply to that question here that I thought about so much. And it's really, thought-provoking and everybody's impressed.
Wow. That was amazing. I
Thank
never would have considered that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
I'm getting out of here. I'm Durkin.
All right.
That's
You
amazing.
remember, Laura Valpy, that as you're writing your play, you don't need to be witty and thought-provoking because anything you do is going to be great.
Everything's brilliant when you improvise. Next, case in point, we have the artistic director of Synergy Theater, the co-producer of tonight's show and producer of many groundbreaking online improv shows. Starting April 14th, he will be presenting Spontaneous Charles Dickens at the Lesher Center for the Performing Arts in Walnut Creek, California. Ken is the author of the book, How to Improvise a Full-Length Play, The Art of Spontaneous Theater. He began his career in New York City over 30 years ago with Freestyle Repertory Theater. Please welcome Mr. Ken Adams.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ken. Ken, you have been sort of surfing these two worlds. You did a huge season of original improvisational theater formats during the pandemic online, and now you're back doing live. How are you enjoying being back in live theater?
Oh, I am very much enjoying being back in live theater. That connection with the audience is irreplaceable, of course. But I will tell you, I miss online performing, and I look forward to these opportunities very much.
Well, we are honored and delighted to have you here.
Great. See you in a bit, Ken. Our guest playwright tonight has written plays that suggest an interest in the supernatural, which he might otherwise deny. Goodbye, Waiter is his play about a ghost's farewell. Haunted is about ghosts revealed. And Man and Beast is about a cat and attempts to make a ghost of it. He is artistic director of New York City's Obie Award-winning, New York Innovative Theater Award-winning Metropolitan Playhouse. They have plans for upcoming in-person performances at the actual Playhouse, including She's Got Harlem on Her Mind, which will be 3 one-act plays by Eulalie Spence, and East Side Story, several plays by several different playwrights, all dealing with the rich culture and history of Manhattan's Lower East Side. For more far-flung audiences, the Metropolitan Virtual Playhouse is still streaming live plays, though not at the breakneck once-a-week schedule that they maintained back when in-person shows were impossible. Please welcome to our screen, Alex Rowe. Alex, it's great to see you. I'm going to. Oh, you. I can tell you've done a lot of virtual theater because you remembered to turn your microphone on as you came on. So that was awesome. This is your second appearance with Right Away. And I'm wondering if it's different. Does it feel different? Have things changed for you?
Yeah, it's far more frightening than it was the first time because I have this visceral memory of how it went last time. So yes, indeed. You can judge whether I think I can never reach those heights or whether I dread sinking to the depths. It is a real pleasure to be back online with you all.
It's great to have you here, Alex. It's great to have you. Let's bring the rest of the playwrights back on screen to join Alex. And audience members, would you please, if you haven't already, open your chat feature, which again, you can do by hovering your cursor down towards the middle bottom of your screen. Open that chat feature, because now each playwright is going to ask for a suggestion to kickstart their play. And when they do that, if you have an idea, type it into the chat there. All right, Mike, I think we introduced you first, so why don't you get your suggestion first?
And we'll need to hear you for that.
A suggestion? Mike pondered quizzically. Wow, he thought explosively. It could be anything, he mused mischievously. I know what I'll ask for, he said confidently. An evocative adjective.
An evocative adjective. Just type them into the chat. And Mike Durkin will take it bemusedly.
Bemusedly. They know me too well. Adverbs, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, adverbs are longingly.
All of your examples for adverbs.
Frantically. Yeah, astronomically. Are all these adverbs?
Well, those are the examples you gave.
Miserably, painstakingly. I love all these. You know, I'm going to go, Jane, precociously. God, I love all these. I'm going to take a bunch of them, I think. Precociously, I'm going to take flaming. Thank you, Gabriel. But I'm going to pass on flaming just because it's going to push me in a different direction, I think. I'm going to go with frantically. I'm going to go with frantically. And what was the other one? I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time. Frantically and miserably. Frantically and miserably.
All right. We got a lot of great adverbs there for it, which are left laying around. I invite anyone to pick them up. Next, I believe we had Lisa. Lisa, you were the next to introduce. So how about the next getting a suggestion?
All right, I'm thinking about a character from a fairy tale and an emotion. They don't have to go together.
Character from a fairy tale and emotion, please.
Mother Goose and Glee, Gulliver.
Anybody else?
And any others at the moment. Feel free to type
You
some
do
in.
just one or the other. You don't have to do both. Orphan Annie, Big Bad Wolf, Little Girl with Matches.
Okay, I'm going with Little Girl with Matches for sure.
Hans Christian Andersen, very sad story.
And emotions.
Yep. Gretel, Regret, Seven Dwarfs,
Glee.
Flaming.
I see Glee. So
Again.
Little Girl with Matches and Glee.
I don't know if anyone
Combination.
I don't know if anyone other than me noticed that the person who said flaming was the one who also said Little Girl with Matches. And
Very
she lives
nice.
in Volcano.
Very nice, Gabrielle. Our audience is often more clever than we are. Our next playwright, I believe, was Laura Valpy.
Okay. What is something that you have done or experienced in your own life that was easier than you thought it was going to be?
Something easier than you thought it was going to be.
Think. Flying on an airplane, getting a job, scuba diving, getting married. Oh my gosh, climbing Kilimanjaro, falling in love, moving to a different state, rode a donkey down the Grand Canyon, doing laundry by hand. These are fabulous. I kind of want to combine, you guys. Water skiing, telling my boyfriend that I want it out of our relationship. All right. I am going to take, these are amazing, climbing a 100-foot cable ladder, moving to the United States. Okay, I'm going to take telling my boyfriend that I wanted out of our relationship because, that's fun. But then there was something else. I'm rode a donkey down the Grand Canyon. I'm taking both of them.
Fantastic.
Donkey down Grand Canyon and breaking up with boyfriend. Okay.
All right, Ken, you're on. What do you want?
All right. So most of the characters in this play will be a certain kind of animal. So what I need from the audience, this is a compound suggestion. You need to answer both parts in the same chat. So here it is. I need an animal and an interesting factoid about that animal. An animal and an interesting little fact about that animal.
I happen to know that some people in the audience volunteer at the Bronx Zoo. So
centaurs are shy. Okay.
Our cats can hold their breath for 2 minutes.
I love all of these. Thank you all. But here we go. The the suggestion is, where is it? Hummingbirds have feet but never walk, and I'm picking that basically because all my actors are going to have to do this for the entire.
I got to read some of these because I know some people watch this on video later, so they're going to want to know that some that Ken has bypassed are baby lions don't purr, nene geese mate for life, house cat loves anchovies, hedgehogs are not pigs, cardinals mate for life, bats cannot jump. I wonder who even thought to watch them.
All right, they're all awesome, but I'm taking hummingbirds have feet but never walk. Thank you.
All right.
Giraffes cannot bend without spreading their front legs. Beluga whale's knees make it look like a woman. What? All right, enough of that. Alex wrote, what amazing thing to make this wild audience. Type into chat here.
Let's see. I'm hung up on the whole glasses riff because I'm wearing a pair of new glasses and everything is completely different. They look exactly like my old glasses, but it's given me a whole new lease on life. So I would like, and one could just look to the list that we got before of things that people have done that were easier than they thought. But I would like a moment of clarity in honor of my new glasses. A moment of clarity is what I'm looking for. Take it as you will.
I think everyone's distilling their thoughts right now.
Yeah. Life is like
Oh,
high school.
Wow.
Wow. So it is worse than I thought. Yes, it's true. We'll live through this, but we won't ever be the same. I can't believe my parents did that to get me. You just
And
there,
while
don't
we're
you,
getting
Mike?
these suggestions, Gregory, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you just want to turn off your camera, we'll ask you to come right back on in a moment.
United States, according to the Electoral College, that's how it works. You know, I don't know if I can get past life is like high school though, and there are no do-overs. So maybe those are like the same to me. Life is like high school, and though it goes back, there are no do-overs. So I'm going to stick with those. Thanks very, very much.
Fantastic.
All right, writers, in a few moments, we're going to send you away for 45. Going to ask you to keep an eye out for texts because we will be sending you time reminders as well as annoying you in any way we can think of. Before you go, though, can we just get it was a while ago that we got our first suggestion. So I wonder if we could just rapidly recap what they were. Mike, what did you get?
Frantically was my adverb.
I'm going with Little Girl with Matches and Glee.
Riding a donkey down the Grand Canyon and telling a boyfriend that you want out of the relationship.
Hummingbirds have wings, but they never walk.
And life is like high school, although it's inflected by a whole bunch of other suggestions that I'm not going to forget anytime soon.
All right, writers, let me just remind you, it's improv. Go with your first idea. Whatever you do is going to be right. Say yes to yourself. Here we go. Ready, steady, starting the timer right away.
All right. Okay. There they are. They're off. So everybody, as our writers are turning their videos and sound off, hopefully they are tuning us out, and we invite you to turn on your video and wave hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jean. Hi, Barb. Everybody, good to see you. Fantastic. Now that they're gone, we get to have some fun. Excellent. If you haven't already, go and grab some paper and a pen or pencil. Just a reminder that we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So if you have something in your background that you don't want anybody to see, you want to hide that, probably don't want to chew with your mouth full or anything like that. But we are delighted to have you on screen. And if you want to participate anonymously, just put a little dot on your name, rename yourself as a dot. Other than that, everything is good to go. And we're about to jam, aren't we, Laura?
Yes, that's awesome. I'm really glad to see so many people here. Some I've not seen before, and some I've not seen in a while. Gregory Lawrence Stewart, it's great to see you. Hey, those I can see here, just give me a thumbs up if you're here for the very first time. Who's here for the very first time? All right, awesome, great to have you here. Yeah, and how many of you are here because you know Alex Rowe, our guest artist? I know that. Yes, yeah, good to see you again, Catherine. I would like to say that my screen is pretty full of people, so if you have chosen to keep your camera off but you do want to participate, which I know sometimes some people do, you're going to have to give me a shout or maybe send me a text. I'm going to have a little, Kat and I both are going to have a little trouble finding you in the yeah, Kat.
Well, I just think if you actually use your reactions to raise your hand like that, you will get bumped to the top of our queue, and then we will be less likely to miss you. So that is one way to get our attention.
All right, all right. Also, if you float your cursor up to the top right where it says view, if you haven't done this before, you can choose whether you want to put it on gallery view or speaker view, and that just decides what way you're looking at everyone's picture. Hello, Bill Durkin. And
Blue.
feel free to make whichever choice you want to make there, because it doesn't affect how the rest of us see it. So if you want to see us all at only as we're speaking or all at the same time, up to you. You pick it.
Mary Louise, do you have a question or are you just practicing? And you're on mute if you want to say something.
Sorry, I'm eating popcorn,
Yes, it's all right.
but I would like to participate, so that's why I raised my hand.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's start the jam, Kat.
All righty, Rue. So remember, improv is all about being spontaneous and supporting each other's creativity. If you have never done improv before, I've just told you the secret of it. It can be boiled down to 2 rules. Say yes and make your partner look good. So when you're writing, just say yes to your first ideas and go with it. All ideas are good at this point. So do not bother critiquing yourself as you're writing. Volunteer to read without deciding if it's any good. And when others are reading, we ask you to keep your video on so they can see friendly faces, unless you're eating popcorn, which is fine. You just can keep it off while you eat your popcorn so you're not distracting yourself, other people. You can have your reactions down there. You can use your hearts and your thumbs up. That's a great way to support people as well. That's good. If it helps Laura and me, you can keep them on while you're writing too. And I think we're ready to begin, right, Laura?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Woot.
Okay, Kat, you got the first exercise for us, right?
Is it my opposite words? Is that what we're doing first?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay. All right, so here's the exercise. I have word, and you are going to write the opposite of the word. That's the whole game. So, and then at the end, we'll see who reads. So I say a word, you write the opposite of the word. The first word is lampshade. Sheep. Chewing gum. Mousetrap. Bell. Santa Claus. Dry cleaners. Cell phone. And shoes. All right. So Laura, my problem is I went through my list randomly, so now I don't know what order I said this in. So I think I'll have to help. Let me see if I can do it right. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think I did it like this. I tried to make them a little bit less. We'll see. We'll see how I did. Okay, so who wants to share their words?
I will.
Okay,
But then
excellent.
somebody else has to follow me. Okay.
Yeah, and then if I don't get the order right, we'll fix it later. I think my first word was lampshade.
Post.
Shade.
Sheep.
Coin.
Mousetrap. Is that next right?
Agatha Christie. That wasn't the next one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's your word?
The next one was gum.
Chewing
Yeah.
gum.
Tooth.
Tooth. Was Mousetrap next?
Yes, Agatha Christie.
Mousetrap.
Agatha Christie.
uh, help me. Bell?
No.
Yes, it was. Candle.
Bell.
Bell. It's Candle.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
The next one must have been Santa Claus because I wrote
Santa
Devil.
Claus. Yep.
Mhm.
And you wrote
Devil,
Devil. Ooh, good. Dry cleaners.
River,
Cell phone.
Smoke Signal,
And shoes.
Mittens.
Aw, very nice.
We figured out the order because
We
I obviously wrote the opposite of what you said.
You obviously did. Thank you for doing that. Now I have the right order. Anybody else want to read?
Yeah, jump in on that.
I will.
I see Gabrielle's hand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, here we go. Lampshade.
Base.
Sheep. Sheep.
Lion.
Chewing gum.
Lasagna.
Mousetrap.
Hole in the floor.
Bell.
Cotton.
Santa Claus.
Satan.
Dry cleaners.
Washing machine.
Cell phone.
Coconut wire.
Shoes.
Bare feet.
Nice. Nice. I love it.
Kat,
Yes.
somebody else may want to read, but I think we need to send a suggestion off. It's already
Right.
only 35 minutes left.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
So get on your chats there, everyone. And what I'd like, I would like for someone to complete this sentence with an object. Look at this blank. What is the object that completes that sentence? Look at this elevator, look at this swimming pool, look at this mess,
Sonia.
look at this lasagna document, look at this sword,
Ooh.
look at this devil with silk stockings.
Mm.
Lovely, lovely. Look at this cane, look at this puffet. Kat, let's go back to, let's do, look at this toy soldier.
Okay.
That's the last one there, collection of toy soldiers, but we're going to give them a line of dialogue. They have to say, and I can send this, Kat, because you may want to read the next list.
Okay.
So I'm going to send them, look at this toy soldier. That's
Okay.
a dialogue they have to do.
All right. I told them they have 35 minutes, so you can just right after that. All right. Who else wants to read? Mary Louise, I saw your hand up. Are you ready?
Yes.
And then I'll come to you next, Jean. All right. Here we go. Lampshade.
Light bulb,
Sheep.
wolf,
Chewing gum.
toothbrush,
Mousetrap.
open garbage,
Bell.
silence,
Santa Claus.
Jesus the Christ,
Dry cleaner.
hand washing,
Cell phone.
tea party,
And shoes.
bare feet.
Lovely. Very nice. Jean, shall we go?
Yes, lampshade, bare bulb, sheep, sleep, chewing gum, chewing bark, mousetrap, cheese, bell, buzzer, Santa Claus, the devil,
Spaghetti.
dry cleaners, wet cleaners, a cell phone, pen and paper, shoes, barefoot.
Very nice. And a quick writer to boot.
I'll say. Excellent. I'd love to hear them all, but I also am excited to move on to another little exercise. The way this one's going to work is, well, first of all, I'd like for you to everyone just put your hand out and touch something. Just do that right now, something near you. And if you haven't touched something yet, just go with the keyboard and write a simple sentence that includes that object, like there was a birthday card. So it's a simple sentence that has something to do with the object you just touched. And whatever you've written now is absolutely enough. We're going to write a second sentence, but this time I'd like that second sentence to be done in a genre, or to give that object a genre. For instance, if I wrote there was a birthday card and the genre was Western, I might say the birthday card was stuck on the wall behind the bar in the Dodge City saloon. All right, except that your second sentence, would you write it in the style of horror? Your object in the style of horror.
In the style of what?
Horror.
Oh, okay.
And the third sentence. The third sentence is something that arises out of your first sentence, a consequence or something. So if I had written, there was a birthday card, it was stuck on the wall behind the saloon in Dodge City, my third sentence might be, Slim Jim picked up his 6-shooter and shot a hole in the birthday card. And however you interpret my direction is absolutely right. And finish that up in the next 5 seconds. Excellent. All right. Who hasn't read yet and wants to? Let's hear some of these.
I'll read.
Raise your hand. Okay, Bill, let's hear it.
I love my wooden desk. My wooden desk ate me, and what came out was unspeakable.
Wow.
I want to see that cartoon. I'm imagining the drawers coming in and out. All right. Yes, Bailey, let's hear it.
All right. Hi. I need you to stop letting me buy pillows from Home Goods. The last one swallowed my son's head. I should buy them from Target instead.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Synergy there. We also have Patty and Diane with their hands raised.
I was just going to say, Kat, I see 2 hands raised, but I don't know who they are. So Patty, switch on your microphone. Let's hear what you wrote.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I put it on chat and then it disappeared. Okay, but the point was the pen has blue ink. The pen was stuck in his neck and the blue ink mingled with his red blood. And then he raised his head and looked right at me.
Wow. Awesome.
Who was next, Kat?
Diane and Andrew, or Diane or Andrew.
All right, Diane.
Andrew. Hi.
Andrew.
My moccasin is gray. My bloody gray moccasin crept slowly across the floor. I emptied both barrels.
Oh, oh.
You know, I'm kind of hoping that we're all Americans here because guns have figured twice in this exercise. And I don't want to keep adding to
You
that.
asked for her. You asked for her.
Who was next, Kat? Did you have somebody?
Those are the 2 hands raised. Those are the 2 artificial hands raised. I see. Now I see it.
Barbara's real hand up and then Anath's. Barbara, let's hear yours. Switch your microphone on and let's hear it.
My glasses are resting on my printer. My glasses floated toward the ceiling and began to drift toward the door. I didn't want to have they go out of sight, but would it let me follow?
Whoa. As a person who's been drastically nearsighted since the age of 5, I really am struck with horror about that. And who was next? Anath. Yeah.
I love my coffee mug, except the mug is spewing red sparks. I am in danger of being swallowed by my mug.
It's a volcano mug.
All right. Were there any last volunteers?
I see Marie Louise and Ray or Deborah Valpy. Ray,
Okay.
I'm guessing. Both have
All
their
right.
hands up.
Here, Marie.
And Anne.
All right. Marie Louise was the first one you said?
Yep.
Let's hear it, Marie Louise.
Did Anne already get a chance to read or something?
We'll get to her.
Okay. Let me lower my hand. I don't drink enough water. Well, living in Flint, Michigan, no wonder.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, Pete passed from dysentery just last week.
What really strikes horror in my heart is that's also
It's horrible.
Anne, where are you?
The binder clip was there. He placed the binder clip on my nose. The binder clip sprang open and hit his front tooth.
And Ray, let's hear it.
The microphone looks like it was made by aliens. It's sending penetrating messages. My brain is being abducted by an evil force.
Oh, good. Good. Nice. Thank you, everybody. I have that they have 24 minutes left, and we better get another suggestion.
We should.
If you're new to us, what we're doing is texting your suggestions into the playwrights, and they have to incorporate it immediately into their play. Here's what I would like. We've never done this before. To keep a kind of a thread of, generally the suggestions have been like so random that we throw in. But I wondered tonight what would happen if we keep referring back to the suggestion. They have to keep reincorporating it. So this is what I'd like to get from you. We have a toy soldier. And I'd like to give them the stage direction that a character does something with or to that toy soldier. What should they do? Or what should that stage direction be that involves the toy soldier? Type that into chat there. They surgically remove it. The toy soldier begins to dance. Somebody makes the toy soldier fly. The toy soldier salutes in slow motion. Cat, since it involves a character actually, removes the toy
head. I like makes it fly or removes the toy's head. Those are the two.
Okay, well, makes it fly was the first one. So why don't we go with that? A character makes the toy soldier fly.
Okay, so you have how many minutes now? Let's see, 23 minutes.
20. Okay, yeah. All right, so as Kat's sending that into the playwrights, I have another little experiment that Ken did last week, but I have a slightly different way I would like to do it. I'm putting a description, not a description, I'm putting just a couple of sentences into the chat feature right now. And so everyone, if you don't have your chat feature open, please open it. And this is what I'm typing in there. A person sits down at a table. They do something they normally do at that table. Then they look up. They see something they didn't expect. They say something and then leave the room. Here's what I would love. Please rewrite that, but please rewrite it in a genre of your choice. Choose the genre. And if you haven't already, I'll give you one. It's Victorian romance. But if you have one you'd rather do, go with it. Rewrite that in that genre. And you have, I'm going to say, a minute.
So Laura, can we put it in chat? You want to say it again and I'll type it in chat? Oh, there.
Have it in chat. I just didn't press
There you go. Beautiful.
There you go. Give me a thumbs up if you think you can be done in 15 seconds. Okay, good enough. One person said yes. You got 10 more seconds. 5. All right.
How many of you are furious and need more time?
All right.
We'll give you more time. Oh, oh, Patty.
If you're finished, please let me know by going like this.
So heartbreaking.
Okay. I think some people have finished, but some have gone back to rewriting. If you're finished, let us know by going like this. Gregory Lawrence Stewart, you are finished. I see you not writing. Okay. All right, I got to hear some of these.
Yeah.
Patty and Ray wrote theirs into the chat. Patty, would you read yours out to us?
The old man played solitaire. He looked up at the faded photograph of his missing wife. She walked in the door and blew a kiss.
Oh, nice. Ray, let's hear yours.
Captain, I don't know how we got beamed up from the table. That's a species I've never seen before. We'd better leave.
The microphone theme continues.
You know, one of the things I love about doing this stuff where you have a prompt and then people go off is how it diverges. And already, you know, not only were they different styles, but one is written in third person and one's written in first.
Yeah.
And it's all
Brilliant.
right. It's all absolutely correct. I just loved it. Hello, Delicia. Nice to see you. We're rewriting something that was put in chat just a couple of before, and now we're hearing them written in a who will read theirs out loud to us? Some people have written them in chat, but who's got theirs on paper? And we'll, all right, Marie Louise.
I went to sit down at the table for my afternoon tea. I looked up and saw that bright red male cardinal again, Forget it, Pete, I said. I will never forgive you.
Is it a bird or a Roman Catholic? I don't know.
So cardinals are supposed to mate for life.
That's
So
right.
she saw the sign of the cardinal and knew it was Pete who was trying to get back to her.
Oh, I love this story.
I got it.
Yeah. Based on a fact we learned during the suggestion giving. Yeah. Let's hear some more. I'm going to start calling on folks, but raise your hand if you want to go before I start just calling off. Karen, let's hear it.
Okay, I'll see if I can read my handwriting. Lily sighed as she lowered herself on the brocade settee. She reached for her cup of warm tea and looked out on her garden. The parlor door swung open and the maid announced the arrival of Sir Roland. That exasperating man, she exclaimed as she exited the room.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Man.
Delicia has her hand up.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Rebecca sauntered over to the table and added her 3rd teaspoon of salt to her tea. Suddenly, the eyes of her ancestor's portrait above the mantel moved. She burst out in tears and left the room.
Oh my gosh. Some more kind of horror inflected stuff. Wonderful. Gabrielle, I see yours in chat. Would you read it for us to hear?
I'm unmuting there. Okay, here I go. She sat down and lit a cigarette, looked up to see the scowl of the nurse. She squashed it out, said shoot, and walked outside.
Oh, good.
Nice. Nice.
I wanted to say shit, but I said shoot to be polite.
Thank you. We're kind of thinking that YouTube is going to have nothing to do with us pretty soon.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All right, it's 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, let's get we may hear some more of these, but let's get another suggestion. How about this time the toy soldier has some kind of the last one, the toy soldier, a character did something to the toy soldier. This time the toy soldier has an effect on one of the characters. What might that be? Type that into chat. And am I seeing any here? I don't want to leave.
Very long. So you can keep as loud as
Oh,
you
I
want.
I can go, I'll go in the other room.
I'm going to eat dinner here shortly, so
Well, I just wanted.
All right.
Reminds them of their father.
All right. Yeah. The toy soldier reminds one of the characters of their father. That's excellent. Spits in their face. Oh, makes them think of the last war. Yeah, I love all these. But he threw down his gun and hugged her. Lovely, lovely. Oh man, PTSD. Wow. Squinted in a malicious way and gave a look. But I think we already, did you text them?
I have not actually texted yet, but I should soon because they now have 13 minutes.
All right. Yeah. Reminds them of their father. Let's go with that. We'll see how many monologues that might inspire. We'll see. Oh, swept them off their feet, frantically left the room. Toy soldier scares them out of their wits. These are all lovely. We had one more in this last exercise that popped into the chat by Bill Durkin. Bill, you want to read yours out to us?
Sure. It's slapstick.
Okay.
He sits down and picks up a napkin. Hey, what do you want to eat? Not that soup again. Well, how about a new pair of shoes then?
That one's got stage directions. I like it. I can tell what they're supposed to be. That's wonderful. Here's what I'd like to try, if everyone is up for it. How much time we got? 11 minutes? Yeah. I think I'm gonna put this in the chat again so people don't have to look around for it, because I think it'd be cool to write it in another genre. And this one I'd like to choose. So I'm putting it here for everyone to see. And I'd love it if the genre were personal memoir. Rewrite this paragraph as if it were a personal memoir. Ready, steady, go.
Where is it in the chat? I don't see it.
We just added it as the last. It should be, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the chat, it should be right there.
That's the sit down at the table part?
Yes, the first.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the same one we did before.
it is.
Oh, okay.
Different style. I forgot to time it. If you're done, let me know by going like this. If you only need another minute, let me know by going like this. You have 30 seconds. If that's not enough, please express yourself by going. Got 10 seconds. 5 seconds. All right. If you'd like to read yours, please let me know by going. Okay. Gregory Lawrence Stewart, we haven't heard from you. What do you got to say to us?
Hi. Hello, everyone.
This is bizarre. Okay. I might not be able to read it too well. Okay. I slammed down at the table and threw off my shoes that hit the cat. So the cat flew up and scratched me, causing me to fall back, wrecking the entire set, which fell down, exposing the entire crew. I don't know. Not exciting, just about being on a movie set or something.
Resonates with me, especially the exposing the entire crew. Makes my heart sink. All right, who, and including people who've put theirs in the chat, who wants to read theirs out? Let me know by waving around in some way I cannot miss. Oh, there we go. Marie-Louise, let's hear it. And then Catherine. And Marie-Louise, your mic is off.
Sorry, I was eating popcorn again. Every time I take a bath, I think of my son painting it for me. I look up and see the ceiling peeling, and I'm reminded that he's not really speaking to me. I drift off thinking about raising him, the ups, the downs, the funny moments. Daggone it, the water is cold and I haven't even washed up yet.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Marie-Louise.
So good.
Diane and Andrew raised their hand.
And Catherine.
Oh, Catherine was next. Then it'll be Diane and or Andrew. Catherine, let's hear it.
It was my usual table in the coffee shop. As I looked outside, I saw my college boyfriend headed for the door. Oh my. I immediately put on my mask, stood up, and left.
I knew I was going to love this genre. Kat, we need to send a direction because they've only got 4 minutes left.
Yes.
All right. We need something theatrical that happens with this toy soldier. Something theatrical. If that makes sense to you, write it in there. I kind of don't want to give any examples because of what
Like
I
a
mean.
theatrical convention of some kind?
A theatrical convention involving the toy soldier.
And this is the last suggestion, right?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, probably. It must be.
Because they're going to have like 4 minutes.
Yeah. So this could be a lighting effect or you know, something to do with the stagecraft or I've got a lot mixed up in here of the last exercise and people people writing suggestions. So here's what I think we're getting, Kat. Oops, bouncing around.
Machine burst. I like that one.
What I'm seeing is swept them off their feet, frantically left the room, toy soldier, scared. Oh no, that was the last suggestion. Sorry. Howls like a wolf, flies away, begins to speak, comes to life, the nutcracker, opens
The toy soldier climbs into the flies and pulls down the curtain.
Oh man, you can't get much more theatrical than that, can you?
No.
All right. Oh, now I'm seeing him. All right. Kat, why don't we go with the toy soldier climbs into the flies and pulls down the curtain?
That sort of ends it well.
Okay, I'm typing it. Are we going with that?
Yeah, but you might put in parenthetically that the characters can still talk. You know, I don't, so that they have something they can do in reaction to this. Somehow, let it be known that they can, that the writers can use that still as a jumping off point.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. They've only got like a minute. We may have to cut them some extra little time.
Yep.
I want to hear some more of these personal memoirs. I think more people were volunteering to read them. Who's got it? Who wants to read a personal memoir here? Yes, Jean.
Thank you. Mother lowers herself to the sofa. With a great sigh, she says to me, "I've had enough, daughter." Her eyes close, and when they open again, she sees that I am silently weeping. She reaches out to me. I help her up. "I'm sorry, Mom." Oops. We embrace and leave the room together.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm giving them 5 minutes from when I sent it, by the way. I said you have 5 minutes from now, which will make it 8:31, because you said to give them some slack.
Excellent, excellent. I forgot, I made an appointment with Diane. Is it Diane or Andrew there? Diane or Andrew was going to read for us. And then I saw Bailey had her hand up as well. So Diane or Andrew, who I'm not seeing, why don't you read?
I'd never been to that particular restaurant, but I'd heard their alligator sausages couldn't be beat. I grabbed a table and glanced around for a waiter or waitress. Then I saw my father coming toward me with a menu and a glass of water. Screw the sausages, I thought, and walked out.
Oh, cool. Bailey, let's hear yours.
Right. Thank you. Hold on one second. I will say, I think it's from the perspective of feeling like I'm sitting at the adults table. So I hope, cut me some slack, guys. Mom let me sit at the grown-ups table for the first time because she said I was a big girl and even let me light the candles. I looked at my whole family as I said a prayer till I heard my mom curse and run out to get the extinguisher.
Cool, cool. Kat, are you keeping track of that 5 minutes?
I am. 1:31 is when we went.
How much time do they have?
They now have 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yes.
All right. Did anyone else want to read what they wrote in this last? Anne, let's hear it.
I sat down and completely missed the chair, landing on the floor. Then I demurely managed to get up and try again. This time I ended up sitting in a gentleman's lap.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to look up here in chat and see if, is there anyone who put theirs in? I think Gabrielle put yours. Some people put theirs in the chat and we haven't heard.
Bill
them.
and Bailey, Bill Durkin, Bailey, have we heard both of those? Barbara, Trevor, Ray, did we see all those?
All right. Barbara's raised her hand. Barbara, why don't you switch on your mic and let us hear it?
The desk was from the office he'd closed 10 years ago. Checking drawers, he found a phone note he had left unanswered and dialed the number.
Wow.
Wow.
I want to hear what happened next.
Hey,
That's everybody's imagination.
Yeah.
Trevor is waving.
Yeah. Trevor, let's hear it.
I put the last one in the chat, but I didn't really like it, so I want to read the one from the one before.
Okay.
Angelina sat down at her dressing table, taking off her makeup. Suddenly she looked up, and there was Brad in the mirror, holding a huge bouquet of red roses. "You know I hate red," she said, and sauntered out of the room.
Woo! Oh! Oh! Ouch! Oh! Oh!
Would you push that chair over so I can put my feet on it?
Yeah,
All right.
all the way underneath.
All right. Time is up exactly right now.
Oh, okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This is a great.
Enjoyed
it much.
It's too high. Thank you.
Have you texted the you're
I
texting?
told them to come back. Yes.
All right. And I'm also trying to figure out, I know there's a way you can save these chats, but I do not know how to do it. I did it once and now I don't.
If you roll over the three little dots. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The three little dots where you would write a new message, there should be something that says save chat. Come back, everyone. Here they are.
I am back. I am back.
Excellent. And Alex, Lisa, Mike. When I'm not seeing Laura Valpy, so I'm wondering if she even got any of the texts. That'll be fun.
All right, so 45 minutes is gone, if you can believe it. If those of you who are jamming with us, if you can turn off your videos and microphone, we're going to be welcoming back our playwrights. They can turn on their videos and microphone, and we'll be able to tell if they're all here. There's Lisa. Yay. Oh, Valpy is who we're looking for.
Yep, we're still looking for
Valpy.
I gotta find some people here.
All right.
I see a good friend of mine here, and I want to.
While we are looking for her, we can tell you that here are all of the ways that you can be in touch with Freestyle Rep and Synergy Theater. I will put it in the chat. Yes. We also have this wonderful right away afterwards group, which you are now eligible to join because you have been here at a right away show. You would not be able to be here otherwise. It's so great. We're telling you twice. The next show is on when, Laura?
It is March. Well, you know what? I had it in front of me. It's March 21st, and our guests are going to be Clara Rodriguez and Rich Perez, two wild improvisers that Kat remembers from olden days of living in.
Best.
We need to give our playwrights time to cast their plays. And I'm sure the audience needs time to go for refreshments. So we're going to take 10 minutes and look for everyone to come back at 44 minutes past whatever hour you're currently in your time zone. So go off, refresh, and come back to the world premieres of 5 new plays. Yes, Mike.
Oh, nothing. There was a shadow or something. I guess it's a shadow on my microphone.
It is. Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
Who to be in your play?
Who's going to be in my play? Who's going to be in my play? Well, one of the characters is a male, so it's going to have to be. I'm going to have Alex be the Carl. He's number 3. He's Carl, and then the producer of the movie. I think Kat. You be the producer, and the producer is number 2. And Valpy, how about you being number 1? You're the director. And the director starts off frantic. The producer starts off bemused. And the actor starts off miserable, or frantically, miserably, and abusedly. And have a grand old time. Have a grand old time, whatever you do.
All right, Lisa, who do you need?
I need Mike and Valpy, and I've sent it.
All
I have
right.
notes, character notes in the play for you both.
Groovy.
Groovy.
And Lisa's, okay.
Okay, and then Valby, who do you need?
Excellent question. Okay, Darla will be played by Kat, please. And Joel will be played by Ken, please. And Fred will be played by Mike Durkin, please.
Fred?
Fred. And
Fred?
Ginger will be played by Lisa, please.
Coolio. Ken.
Thank you.
All right.
And
I have five characters. So Millie will be Laura Livingston. Jane will be Laura Valpy. Fred will be Michael Durkin. Toy Soldier will be Alex Rowe. And Girl will be Lisa Thompson. Kat, you'll forgive me. I ran out of roles.
I am so honored to listen to your play, Ken. I'd be more delighted to be an audience member.
Do you need me to repeat that, everybody?
I just happen to be Fred in both of them.
Oh, is that right?
Alex, who do you need?
I was just figuring out whose emails I had because I'm on a different email. So that's part of the casting. I need Ken to be the ambassador, who is indicated as AB, and Laura Livingston to be the assistant to the ambassador, who is indicated as assistant. And I wonder if Mike Durkin could be the loudspeaker who has a line at the end.
Loudspeaker? Loudspeaker. Okay.
Is that a voiceover?
It is a voiceover.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I just didn't know if it's like Seinfeld, a quiet talker, a loudspeaker.
And I'm putting it, Ken, can I send it to you at Ken at Synergy, which is the address I have?
That is correct. Ken at synergytheater.com. Laura put together an email with everyone's address in it for us all to use.
But it doesn't come to me at the address that I'm using.
I understand. Okay, yes, Ken at synergytheater.com.
All is well. It's on the way as soon as I can find it on my computer.
All right. I think we've
hold up. My internet went out for like a second, so I didn't hear. I heard Ken was casting. I believe I'm Jane in Ken's.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Am I anyone in Alex? Am I anyone in yours? No. Okay, great.
I mean, you're everyone, Laura.
I'm
You're somebody in mine, but you're not actually in the play.
Excellent.
Okay.
And
Lisa, Valps, Ken's, and Alex.
All right.
Lisa's.
We want to be
Lisa.
back at 44 after. 44 after.
All right. Download.
Michael Durkin,
Yeah.
can you tell me again what numbers we are? Which number is which?
Do you remember what characters you are?
The producer, I think you said.
If you're the producer, you're number 2.
Okay.
If you're the director, you're number 1, and number 3 is Carl, the actor.
Okay.
Yeah. Laura Valpy,
Last-
Kat Coppett is 2, Alex is 3.
Okay.
So I think I'm in Valpy's play and Alex's play. Is that correct?
Yep, that's what I have.
All right.
I can say you're in my
And did I
play.
tell
know
you that you were Joel?
Yes, I'm Joel in
Okay.
Valpy's play, and I'm the ambassador in Alex's play.
Great.
All right, I got Lisa's play. I'm going to download Lisa's play.
And I think I'm in Valpy's play and Durkin's play.
Laura Valpy, did you send yours?
Just now. I again, I was like trying to print it and everything, and my internet, blah blah. But I just sent, so I hope you got it.
Yeah, I got Valpy's play.
All right.
Just arrived.
All right. What time are we back?
We have 4 more minutes till
Thank you
44
for-
after the hour.
All right. I'll be right back.
All right, there's Valpy's play. So I download these, I download them, and then I lose them. Valpy, Lisa, Alex, Valpy, and Ken. Okay.
Okay.
Elegance play. Okay. And then I download it. And it should be right there. And it is. Oh, I'm talking to myself out loud. So if I go here, here. I'm not particularly fulfilled with mine, so do your best, actors. I'm writing about something I don't know anything about. Hey, what's the order? Does anybody know that?
Same order we asked in, so I think it's you, Durkin, and
Yeah.
then Lisa, and then Valpy, and then Ken, and then Alex.
Oh, okay. Just I got it written down here too. Maybe I'll get a beverage.
3 minutes, my friend. 3
3
minutes.
minutes, thank you.
Hey, Kat Coppett, you're friends with Adam Grupper, right?
Grouper, yes.
Grouper. I just watched an old Law and Order that he was starring in. He was
Oh,
wonderful.
really?
Yeah.
He's the menchiest mensch of all menches. He's an amazing guy. He's on tour right now with My Fair Lady. He's playing Doolittle.
Yeah, he's made a bit of a cottage industry out of playing that role, right? He's been doing it for years.
Well, he understudied the role on Broadway and then did it on tour. But before that, he understudied Danny Burstein as Tevye on Broadway. And I saw him go on as Tevye, and he was amazing. He's like the best Tevye I've ever seen. And I, done a lot of Tevyes. So
yeah, it was nice. I don't know him, but I'm friends with him on Facebook, so we interact on, or I see his posts a lot anyway. So I've seen his picture like a million times, but we don't know each other. But yeah, there he was. Like he was the star defendant. He was the one who was accused of the crime. And it was big. Like the whole show was built around him. He was really good.
He's a great actor and he's just an amazing human being. He also played the wizard for a while in Wicked.
Oh, wow.
When Leah was like 8 or 9 years old, and I took her to see it. And
1 minute?
1 minute, everybody. 1 minute.
He gave us a tour backstage.
Yeah. He looks like he must be very tall also. Is that right?
Pretty tall. This is my Adam Grouper story. I know we only have 30 seconds.
Mike,
did
can I
a
ask a
corporate
question?
gig. Yes, I'll tell you later.
Oh no, I have a mic question, but maybe they'll say, is there any indication of when we're on stage or not, or is it just in the lines?
I think you see it. There's an entrance for you.
I didn't see it. Okay, my mistake. Sorry, Kat, I didn't mean.
And I think there's an exit. Shit, I don't know if there's an exit for you, but the producer should be on by themselves at the end. I know that the director has an exit, and I don't know if I put one in there for you, Alex, but do your best.
That is time, everybody.
Okay.
Laura, you're on mute.
As we're calling the audience back, playwrights, I encourage you to set the scene for us. If you didn't have time to write it, but you could say, like it takes place at a monastery. They're sitting at the refractory table, whatever.
Should we say that no matter what we actually wrote?
Hey.
All right,
Everybody,
audience, come back.
Everybody smile.
Wow, that was the weirdest sound. All right, you ready, Kat?
I am.
Let's go.
Old-fashioned screenshot.
All right. So audience, come back, grab your refreshments and join us back in the theater or something. While you're gathering, let me take this time to invite you to join, if you haven't already, our Facebook page right away afterwards, which I was telling you a little bit about before. It is for people who've been part of a Right Away performance and would like to continue a conversation about the show or writing in general.
All right. All right. I'm glad to see so many people popping back on here. And I would like to tell the playwrights I didn't have a chance to during the intermission. We had a great jam, and I highly recommend watching the video of this show. We kind of ran the gamut of, all the feels. Audience, we're going to ask that you keep your cameras off during the readings of the plays and your microphones off, please. And if you would rather not see the names of all of us with our cameras off, you can click on hide non-video participants, which you can do by moving your cursor to the lower left. Click on video options, scroll down to hide non-video participants and click on that. That doesn't affect what the rest of us see. It just makes it so your screen is just filled with the people who are actually in the scene, as opposed to them and everybody's name who's got their camera off. It's fun at the end of each reading, though, if you do just pop back on and let them see your reaction to their play. So Gregory Stewart, if you can pop your camera off, I'm going to be popping mine off and soon. But first, Kat,
yes.
Can you review the suggestions that we sent to the playwrights while we were
Absolutely, I can. We did it a little bit differently, and I'll be curious to talk to the playwrights after and see how they felt about this. We made connected suggestions for the first time ever, I think, in the history of Right Away. So the first suggestion was a line of dialogue. I'm seeing some faces already. Look at this toy soldier was the first suggestion. The second suggestion was someone makes the toy soldier fly. We then said the toy soldier reminds someone of their father, and then the toy soldier climbs into the flies and pulls down the curtain, although we did say the play could continue past that point.
All right. Okay. I'm going to, Mike, why don't you set us up, reminding us of your suggestion. I'm going to pop off here because I'm not in this one. Turn it over.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to say all of the playwrights can do that unless they are you and whoever's in your play. So yes, why don't you get us started?
I asked for an evocative adjective, and I got, they're all very evocative. So I took 3 of them. I took frantically, I took miserably, and I took bemusedly. I liked all 3 of those. So my play is called On the Battlefield. It is set in on a film studio, or not a studio so much as, but on a film set. And that's all I'll say. Have a grand old time.
Thank you.
I cannot believe you said that in front of the whole crew. How could you do that? They will never respect me. They will question everything I ask of them. My directing career, that was just the beginning, is now over. What in the hell made you tell that story?
Oh, come on. That story makes you human. You've got to relax. The tension you're bringing to the set since early this morning is palpable. Come on, loosen up. We're on a tight shooting schedule, and we need to have everybody from rock to the each and every grip working together as one solid unit.
One solid unit that now has no trust that I will check to see if there's film in the camera.
It is a well-known story that every director in the business related to. Everyone slips up. It makes you human. Shake it off.
I was humiliated. If you weren't the producer, I'd have thrown you off the set. Instead, I stood there while everyone enjoyed one of the most devastating moments of my nascent career.
All right, nascent. Calm down, please. Believe me that no one thinks less of you as a director for making a simple mistake. That did cost you an entire morning's worth of work, but you must remember that even Breakheart found it amusing, and he was not an easy man to get along with.
I do remember his slack-jawed expression of disbelief and then his howl of laughter.
Okay. Look at this toy soldier, standing square in the middle of the battle scene coming up. Surely you don't intend to single out one one soldier in this huge battle scene this afternoon, surrounded by all the armies of the netherworld. This single soldier stands alone? Is that in the script?
Carl thought it would signal his character's solitary stance against all odds.
Carl is a great actor, but he is not the writer. What Carl wants and what's good for the scene may often be at odds. I suggest you reconsider his request.
There, you see? Doubt. I have already told the DP to position himself at the center of the battle, accentuating Carl's loneliness and his pride. If I change this shooting script, well, that kind of last-minute waffling is sure to undermine my authority. You see, it's happening because you so casually recounted the most horrible moments in my life.
Please lower your voice and contain your emotions. This is what could undermine your authority.
Excuse me, am I butting into something, or should I just stay out of it?
No, Carl, please come in. We were just talking about this afternoon's shoot.
Oh, yeah, I've been thinking about it too. I don't know what I was thinking when I thought I should be alone in the middle of two great armies. Look at this soldier. One man. I just pick up that soldier, throw him against the wall. In fact, I'm going to do just that.
Carl, you must save yourself for this afternoon. Go back to your trailer and take a...
I can't do this anymore. I'm a fraud. And everybody knows it. God, why did I become an actor? Why?
Carl, you are a great actor. Your screening room is lined with awards and acknowledgments and attributions to your incredible talent. You stir the hearts and souls of millions. You are a force of art and nature. Believe me, it is my honor to be working with you.
I can only second that opinion. It was an incredible coup to have you with us as our star. It will give this project its gravitas to have you lead us.
Well, thank you so much for your encouraging words. Thank you both for helping me get past this moment that I have in every project, the moment of great doubt. Thank you both.
You have this moment in every filming. I do have you contracted for 3 more films over the next 3 years. You're telling me during each of those filmings, we're going to have to go through this? I knew I should never have gotten into producing. It killed my father and crushed his spirit, just like that toy soldier in the corner. Why did I choose this business?
Maybe because it was dropped in your lap, like nice gift under the Christmas tree for the rest of your life, huh?
Well, it's time to pick up for this afternoon. I'm going to have to change all the camera positions, reframe each shot, and suffer the abuses of your making a different choice, Carl. No longer will you be in the middle of the fray, but what? Observing from some distance? Oh, God, I don't know what to do now.
You don't know what to do? I've got a psychopathic actor under contract for the next 3 years, 3 years and 3 films.
It could be worse. I mean, my agent says he's going to renegotiate for much more money each successive film. Ain't life grand? Well, off to the battlefield, it may be the best army win.
Give me that toy soldier. Go for a fly into the sky, you bastard. And may you hang there for eternity.
Hey, don't forget to put film in the camera.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You brought it to life. I appreciate that so much. You brought it to life so much. Thank you.
I love the prop too.
Hey, yeah.
All right. I think it's Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa is next. All right. Take us away, Lisa.
Right. Well, this play was based on the suggestion of a little girl with matches. and glee. It's a fairy tale set in the modern day Manhattan, and I think it'll all be clear. There's a couple of stage directions. Maybe I'll read them. Don't wait for me. Okay.
Little girl, how glorious to see you walking my way.
Oh, I thought I was alone.
Oh, well, you were alone, but now I'm here.
I'm on my way to my special lunchtime grotto.
Oh, it's mine too. I know what's happened. I usually come at 1 o'clock of the afternoon, it appears. A bit early.
Yes, that must be it. Of an afternoon, I always depart by 10 of 1.
What shall we do? I know. I'll take my feast across the park today by the fountain. What's that fountain called?
The one from the show? Oh, yes, I know the one you mean. But no, I can't put you out. Why don't we share the grotto today?
Oh, well, if you're certain.
I'm not certain, but I think there's a good probability that it will be fine.
Probabilities. That describes my line of work.
You're a mathematician?
No, I'm a whiz kid.
A whiz kid?
A trader on Wall Street.
Oh, I know nothing of that.
No? Well, you're too young for the rapacious world. But you must work around here if you eat here every day.
The grotto sits just on the most beautiful path through the park between my place on West 86th and my grandmother's on East 64th. That's why I come here every day.
What a good girl you are to visit your grandmother every day.
She's frail and can't get to the deli. She needs her corned beef and kombucha.
Oh, interesting.
And I also do her banking. That's why I carry this extremely large big basket. It's full of grandmother's money that I must deposit.
Very interesting. I see something just there sticking out of the soil.
Oh, it's a toy soldier. Tin, pre-war, I believe. A rare find.
You know something about antiquities.
Just toy collectibles.
Oh, there's much more to you than meets the eye. And I must say, there's quite a lot that meets the eye. Yeah, you're a real beauty.
Oh?
After we eat our lunch, I'd like to escort you to the bank for safekeeping. I suddenly feel very protected of you and your grandmother's picnic basket full of cash.
Oh, I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
Oh, sure. Well, anyways, I wouldn't mind tagging along just for the company.
Oh, well then, perhaps that would be all right.
Now that we have that settled, let's eat our lunches. I'm suddenly feeling famished.
Allow me to spread my red cape on the stone for us to sit on. What do you have there? That's quite an odor.
It's nothing. A meat sandwich.
Meat sandwich? An odd turn of phrase. It seems to be rare. Quite rare.
Like the toy soldier.
Like meeting you in this grotto.
I feel the same. Fortuitous.
Quite lucky indeed.
Roger throws the toy soldier in the air.
You do that.
Do what?
You were sitting here by me, and suddenly you were over there, and then you were back here again.
All in a day's work.
What does that mean?
During your lunchtimes here in the grotto, have you ever gone into the cave?
There's a cave?
Why, sure. That's what makes it a grotto.
But usually I'm too busy plotting, plotting charts for the stock market.
Yes, well, come and see.
Oh, it's dark in here. Can you see?
I can see quite well. Take my hand.
Oh, with pleasure. This day gets better and better.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
I just said that this day gets better and better. Aren't we deep enough in the cave?
Are you afraid?
Do you know your way out?
Oh, yes. I'm perfectly at home here.
I hear dripping.
Yes, it's dripping, much as your sandwich was.
Blood? I'm not afraid anymore. I'm in my element. Then why do I feel like I'm falling?
Sit down.
I'll get my suit wet.
That may be the least of your worries.
Huh?
That toy soldier you spotted looked something like my father. He's the one who taught me street smarts, how to recognize certain characters and how to defend myself. I'm forever grateful. But it was my mother who went beyond defense. She taught me to take to the alleys and grottos and take action, to seek out, to attract the wolves of this world, and to, shall we say, teach them that they can't have their way with everyone. This may be a fairy tale, but it doesn't have to have a happy ending.
What's happening?
Smell that, Mr. Whiz Kid?
Smells like dampness and methane.
Good call.
Hey, come back. Where are you? Let me out.
Don't worry, you'll be out of there in one moment. Now, where are those matches?
The toy soldier climbs into the wings and pulls down the curtains. End of play.
Oh my God. Nice, Lisa.
Great performances, guys.
That was wonderful.
That was great.
Good Wolfie.
Fun. So fun.
It was.
All right. Really super fun. I'm enjoying Kat. I don't know about you. I'm enjoying the way this thread is turning out here.
I love it. I love it. Again, I can't wait to hear the playwrights debrief in our talk back after the end of the plays to hear how it was.
Indeed. Our next play, if I am correct, is coming from Laura Valpy.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. I'll make myself go away and you remind us of your suggestion and set the stage for us, please.
Yeah, sure. My suggestions were a donkey ride down into the Grand Canyon and breaking up with a boyfriend. So we are going to begin with Darla and Joel on my characters, Darla and Joel on the screen and the other characters off. And the setup happens in my stage direction. So I'll get my face out of here and then I will begin. Oh, and I'm calling it Donkey Dump because, Donkey Dump. Okay. Darla and Joel are on donkey back. The sun is hot and blinding. They bobble along and the donkey pair wind their way deep down into the Grand Canyon.
It's over, Joel. I'm breaking up with you.
Fine.
Fine?
That's what I said. Fine.
You're not supposed to say fine, Joel. You're supposed to say, oh, babe, come on. You're just hot and tired and upset that I took a wrong turn and made us late for the donkey tour with your friends. But don't worry, babe. I'll make it up to you tonight, if you know what I mean.
I'm not going to say that, Darla.
So you're fine with me breaking up with you?
Yep.
I am really hot and tired, though. Hand me some water.
He hands her a water bottle. She takes a big swig, but the bobbling of the donkey makes a big splosh go up her nose and down her shirt.
Classic.
What?
Classic Darla, you're a mess.
That's not funny.
It's pretty funny. Oh, yeah.
Why are you even still here? I broke up with you, which you clearly don't care about. We're going to meet up with my friends down this godforsaken cliff.
Canyon.
Canyon, whatever. Why don't you just turn your donkey around and go back up? And God, it's hot.
Joel takes a toy soldier from his saddle pack.
Look at this toy soldier.
I'm looking. What?
This tiny toy soldier, standing his ground, steely-eyed, focused, ready for action. He looks like he could do anything, right? Braver than most, willing to sacrifice whatever it takes, but still, it's just a toy.
Huh?
Can't do any of those things. Looks tough on the outside, unless when it comes down to it, it's useless.
What the hell, Joel? What are you even talking about?
Like you, Darla, you're useless. The reason I'm not turning my donkey around and heading back up is because there's no way you'd make it down this canyon safely on your own. And I know how important it is to you, this trip with your crew, your best buds that you haven't seen in 2 years. So I'm going to deliver you to your friends and say goodbye. Let's see where the hell they are anyway.
Joel puts the toy soldier back and gets out his cell phone and dials.
Damn, no service.
Duh.
Joel holds his phone up high, moving it around like he's going to find a good service spot. Lights fade slightly on Darla and Joel, but the donkeys, Fred and Ginger, remain in focus. So Darla and Joel can be off for this part.
Fred, check this out.
What are you doing?
Ginger gently uses her teeth to remove Joel's toy soldier from his pack. Then she chucks the toy up in the air and far off the path.
Oh, crumb buckets. The doofus didn't even notice.
Oh, I thought it was pretty clever, Ginger. Lighten my load anyhow. Even if he didn't know this toy is missing. So for that, I thank you, my lady.
Ah, you can milady me later, Fred. This dumb head has got something coming to him. I just got to figure out what.
He's a doo-doo brain, dumb head.
Doo-doo brain, dumb head, who's about to end up a long way from home.
What? What are you doing?
Come on, let's go this way.
The path is this way.
Exactly. Let's get this sucker lost.
Oh, this path goes this way, Ginger. We always stay on the path. Zigzag, the way we always go.
Exactly, Freddie, old pal. Sometimes you got to take a stand or a walk. In any case, that big old doofus riding on your back right now, he needs a little taste of his own medicine. Come on, just follow me.
Okay.
The donkeys turn off the path in the direction of the thrown toy soldier.
Ginger?
Yeah, buddy?
What about her? Does she deserve a taste of her own medicine?
Ginger stops. Fred stops.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Lights back up. Joel and Darla are back.
Hey, donkey, why the hell are we stopped? Come on, you dumb donkey. Let's go. Move.
Maybe the donkey needs a rest or some water. It is really hot out here.
Darla rummages in her pack for any more bottles of water.
What this donkey needs to do is keep moving so I can drop you off and get the hell out of here.
Fred bucks and tosses Joel off his back.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oh my God, what's happening?
Fred and Ginger run. Darla is still atop of Ginger. Darla spots the toy soldier on the ground.
Whoa, girl, whoa, slow down.
The donkeys slow to a stop. Darla dismounts and picks up the toy soldier. She examines it for a moment.
This toy soldier reminds me of my father. He was tough, and he was brave, and he could do anything he set his mind to. And so can I.
The toy soldier climbs into the wings and pulls down the curtain. From behind the curtain.
Finally, some shade. Come on, Fred and Ginger. Let's go find my friends. Thanks, Dad.
From the back of the house comes an exhausted and parched Joel, trying to find service on his cell phone.
Darla? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I took a wrong turn and made us late for the donkey tour with your friends, but I'll make it up to you. Babe, I promise. Where are you? Where am I? Anyone? Anyone? Help! I'm all alone!
The toy soldier peeks his head out from behind the curtain. Blackout. End of play. Thanks, guys. Sorry for the confusion of the on and off with the donkeys and the people and the whatever.
Awesome. It
It was fun.
We jumped a
That was
couple cues. I'm sorry. It was great.
You know, I think one of the joys of this Zoom theater stuff is how many human beings I've seen play animals. It's great. It's my new favorite thing in theater.
There's definitely some production values that we'd have to have $1 million budgets to do in the theater, but we can do anything we want here. Yeah.
That's right.
Next, I believe we have Mr. Ken Adams. Is that correct?
All right. And we are going to have some more people playing animals. My suggestion was hummingbirds have feet, but never walk. So I will ask if you're playing a hummingbird, go ahead and give us some wings so that we can see that you are a bird. All right. And I will read the stage directions. And other than that, take it away. So
wait, am I a hummingbird? I don't know.
Yes. The first 3 characters on are hummingbirds.
Okay, sorry. I didn't catch that before. Okay.
All right. All right. So let me get out of here. Let's see. So Michael, you start off, and Laura and Valpy and Livingston start on. Right. Okay. So I'll set it up. This is the name of the play is Hummingbirds. Take it away.
It's delicious.
It is. It's scrumptious.
And the cup is so deep. You can stick your entire beak in the cup of the flower and get at the nectar that's way at the bottom.
You can. You can.
It's delicious.
It is. It's scrumptious.
Well?
What?
What? You know what? What's going on with you and Fred?
I don't know. I think it's over.
Over? Jane, that's big. Are you sure?
Fred, a hummingbird, flies in.
Hi, Fred.
Jane, Millie. Oh, hi.
Fred, what are you doing here? I told you that I'd be home later.
I missed you.
Fred, I've only been gone for 20 minutes.
I know, but I've done everything I can think of doing already. I flew around the garden and got a lot of nectar, and I flew to the top of the tree and then back down to the lower branches. I hovered. I got some nectar. You know, I'm bored. Come on home and let's do stuff together.
Well, what do you want to do exactly, Fred?
Oh, we can do a lot of things. We can fly around the garden, suck a lot of nectar, fly to the top of the tree, fly back down to the lower branches, hover, suck the nectar, you know, stuff.
Fred, will you please go home and wait for me there? I just want a few more minutes here with Millie.
Suck it, Fred.
Fred, please.
Fine, fine, I'll go.
But hurry up, okay?
Exit Fred.
Wow. I see what you mean.
It's over. I really think it's over.
Well, no use wasting time. Find another mate.
Another mate? I just broke up with Fred and I didn't even tell him yet. That would be moving a little quick, don't you think?
No use waiting around doing nothing. The early human gets the glass of orange juice.
Millie, I haven't dated in years. Look at me.
You're gorgeous.
Stop it.
You are.
Well, I'm not ready to do anything like that. Maybe I just wasn't intended to ever settle down.
What? Settle down? Who's talking about settling down? I'm talking about zipping things along, moving on up, and Adam. Go find a mate who's worthy of you. Look at this toy soldier over there on the ground. The girl who lives in the house left it there. I think a toy soldier is a good role model for you. Always on the march, into the breach and all that sort of thing. Go on. Go, Jane, go. Fred's old news. Find somebody new, like a soldier. Off into the battlefield and give no quarter. Whoa, it's late. I gotta go. Bye.
Exit Millie. Jane hovers down over the head of the toy soldier.
Yeah, maybe she's right. Maybe I just need to find a bird who's really worthy of me.
Maybe.
Oh, did you just speak?
Sure.
Wow, a talking toy soldier. Huh, that's odd.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm a freaking hummingbird. What do I know?
You're funny.
Want to zip around the garden with me?
Can't.
Why not?
Can't move.
What? How do you suck nectar and fly to the top of branches and hover in the air?
I don't.
What?
I don't. I can't move at all. Not on my own, that is.
How do you?
I don't. Whatever it is that you were just going to say, I don't do it. I just sit still. Until my girl comes to play with me, that is. But then she moves me around. I don't really do a thing.
Boring?
No, it's peaceful.
What do you mean?
Well, I can't do anything, and so I never have to worry about getting things done.
But how can you stand being so unproductive?
I don't know. I like it, and it makes my girl happy too. Sometimes she puts me down somewhere and forgets where I am. Oh, and then she gets upset, so upset until she finds me. Now, you can imagine if I could walk around on my own, she'd never know where I was, and that would make her awfully unhappy. No, it's best if I just sit still and let my loved one find me when she needs me.
I don't know what to say.
Try it.
Try what?
Stop flying for a minute. Stop flitting about. Just land on the ground right here by me and walk.
Walk? Do you take me for a freaking ostrich?
No, a hummingbird.
Well, hummingbirds don't walk. We fly, we flit, we hover. We zig, we zag, we zog.
What's zog?
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
I mean, if I were to stop flying and just walk, I mean, what would
the other hummingbirds say about you?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I do.
Why?
Well, because...
Fred flies in. Suddenly, Jane swoops down and lifts the toy soldier into the air, making it fly.
Whoa! Ah! Jane! Jane, what are you doing?
Help! Help me!
Fred, I'm just spending time with my new friend, this very productive flying bird soldier.
Help me! Please put me down!
Oh, ha ha! What a jokester he is. That's right, he's a jokester.
I'm not a bird, I'm a toy soldier and I don't fly, I don't do anything. Please put me down!
Jane! Jane! Are you hanging out with a do-nothing?
No.
Ah! Ow!
Jane accidentally drops the toy soldier, who crashes to the ground.
Ow!
Oh.
So that's what's going on, is it? You're cheating on me. You're cheating on me with a do-nothing.
Oh.
Don't you lie to me. Fine, if that's the way you want it, that's the way it is. That's the way it'll be. Me and you, we're through. And I am telling the entire flock that you are associating with a do-nothing.
Fred flies off.
Oh dear. I'm so sorry.
It's very frightening.
You have to understand, it's just that amongst us hummingbirds, it's a horrible thing to be a do-nothing. Even to associate with one is, well, a disgrace.
Why do I have to understand that?
Well, so you can understand why I needed to make Fred think that you were a flying soldier bird.
So that you wouldn't be disgraced by your association with me?
Yes, that's right.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
Oh, come on. Really? I mean, honestly, how could you be satisfied spending your entire life without moving on your own volition, having no ambition, no drive, no motor skills of any kind?
It doesn't mean I'm not important.
Doesn't it?
Enter the girl.
Soldier, there you are. Oh, heavens, I thought you had gone away from me.
She picks it up and embraces it.
There you are, just as handsome and straight and tall as ever, just like Daddy was before he went away to the war. Oh, Soldier, I love you, Soldier. Mommy said that Daddy can't come home. Not ever. But that's okay. I have you. And anytime I miss my daddy, I just come and play with you and I give you a great big hug. And it's like I'm with Daddy again. Okay, you stay here. I'll be back.
The girl puts the soldier down and runs off.
Now, if you were able...
I get it. I get it.
Hummingbird, come and land on the ground by my side.
I can't.
Just try.
I can't.
Sure you can. Just fold your wings for just a moment.
I have been flapping my entire life.
So?
It isn't easy to change at once. My entire life, I've gauged my success by how fast and consistently I fly, and zig and zag.
And zog?
Yeah, and zog.
Life's not over. Who cares what you thought was important in the past?
Everybody.
I don't. Come on. Just land on the grass by my side.
Okay.
She lands on the grass.
Now take a step.
I can't.
Hummingbird, just take a step toward me.
She takes a tentative step toward the soldier.
Oh.
That was wonderful.
Oh. How relaxing.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Now what?
Well, now we sit.
And do what?
Nothing. We just sit still for a bit.
I like it.
Yes, it's nice. Listen, you can hear the birds.
Huh. I I've always been so busy with my humming that I never heard the other birds.
You know something? You've been very brave and have learned something from me. And now I'm going to be brave and learn something from you. I'm going to get up, climb up into the flies, and pull the curtain.
He does so. The curtain drops. Jane and the toy soldier crawl under the curtain and come out onto the front of the stage.
Wow. You know something?
What?
I thought this was a play.
Yes. Yes, it most certainly is.
The Flies? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's the wings.
Wings? Like a bird.
Yeah. Yeah. You're very clever.
Hey, you want to be friends?
Yeah.
Blackout, end of play.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Touching, very touching.
Beautiful.
Meaningful.
Thank you.
Nice job, Ken. So
Great
enjoyable.
reading. Thank you.
Very, very.
Also, my arms are really tired. That's really tired.
Mine were starting to burn, and I exited a long time ago.
Mission
that-
accomplished, Ken. You said you wanted to just make people do that.
Yeah, that was the point.
All right. Well, Laura, we have our guest for tonight left.
Yes, before we get to that, first of all, I
Yes.
got to figure out where that script is.
We do have some things to do before we do that, don't we?
Yes, I do want to tell the people in the audience that while this is our last script, when the show is over, we do hang out a bit and just have a little talk back. So if you're interested in sticking around for that, please, please do. And now I seem to have inadvertently closed the file where I had this script open. So Kat and Alex, talk for a bit.
All right.
Kat.
Yes. Hi, Alex. Amazing things are happening in your neck of the woods. Do you want to tell us about that, or would you like to introduce why don't you do that? And then we will do our spiel, and then you can introduce your show after that.
Okay. Okay. You know, well, what's going on? We're preparing. We had to do an annual festival of new plays, new short plays, live and in person. And we're delighted to get back to them, all about the life and the lore of the East Village and Lower East Side of Manhattan, which if you live in Manhattan is, you know, thrilling and sentimental and tender. And if you don't live in Manhattan, it's really fascinating and look into, I was going to say insight, but that sounds incredibly pretentious. Look into the world where Charlie Parker lived and Allen Ginsberg lived and Madonna lived and Peter Stuyvesant, you know, conquered and all that. So it's a marvelous, marvelous thing. And that's coming up. We're just choosing the scripts now and preparing for it. That's coming up in person in May. We're very excited to get back.
Very, very exciting. So Alex's play is coming up next, and you can have more of Alex there. And you are ready to go, Laura.
I am ready.
Script found? Okay. I'm going to get right off the screen. I'm going to say that this play, which is called Last Period, although if I got to retitle it, I call it First Period, is based on the suggestion life is like high school, and it takes place in a conference room at the UN, where an ambassador and that ambassador's assistant are present together.
What time is it?
3:04.
Have you gotten a look at them?
They have funny uniforms.
Funny.
The colors, the style. Anyway, not like ours.
Jeez.
Right?
Whatever. Look at this toy soldier. It's kind of disturbing.
I don't think that's a toy.
What?
That's their uniform.
No way.
It's a model sent by the director of intelligence.
So
you wouldn't be afraid.
I'm not afraid.
It's all about preparation.
I've met other delegations before.
Of course.
I'm up to it.
You have to get psyched.
Psych?
Ready.
Why wouldn't I be ready?
Did you study?
I am better at winging this sort of thing.
Did you read any of the material?
Oh, it's not like it's some sort of test. I should have prepared.
Maybe a little.
Okay, so how's my hair?
You're going to comb it, right?
I combed it.
Right.
Does it not look?
Oh, it looks fine.
I was picking my shirt.
You were?
What's wrong with
Nothing. It's not about the shirt.
Well, look at these uniforms. It's like they're trying to start a fight.
I don't think that's a given.
I didn't dress for this. I didn't come with a uniform.
You have to be who you are.
No one told me the rules.
There are no rules.
What?
Well, yes, there are a lot of rules, but...
And I don't know what they are. Here, look at this.
Okay. This is not helping.
Jeez. It flew. Can we get stoned? Not now. Is that what you... No, I mean, yeah, no, later. I would get through this if there were something to look forward to. This is really important. This is like life or death important. My whole future, my parents, my kids,
the country.
I just feel like the whole world needs me to be ready for this. And I'm not. Let me see that. The little guy, the homunculus.
The soldier.
Why does he want to kill me?
I don't know that's a given.
It's really scary.
You can face him.
He looks like my dad.
Okay.
I mean, not like he did. The attitude. He was the one who made me go into the foreign service.
Your father made you ambassador?
The president made me ambassador. It was a favor. Ha! My dad didn't want me to be an actor. Told me it was beneath me. That being a lawyer would be performance enough. And I didn't want to let him down.
He was a lawyer?
He was a musician.
Pretty strict.
Not at all. He was great.
He made you.
No, he didn't make me. I didn't want to let him down. It seemed to mean so much to him. I didn't want to do what he didn't want me to do. He wanted me to live up to my potential. You know, what time is it?
3:05.
It's like this period never ends.
Yes.
What if this little guy just climbed up here, pulled the curtain down, like this? They might think we hadn't shown.
I think we checked in.
I don't know if I'm going to get through this. Don't pretend it's actually is life or death.
Yes.
You're a good friend.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Bing, bing, bing.
Would the delegates come to the chamber?
Pencils down.
No do-overs.
Curtain.
Wow.
Woo!
We are not worthy of the talent.
Oh, that was awesome. That was so much fun.
That was so good.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody. Before we get all of our playwrights back on the screen for a final vow, we would like to take a moment just to say some thanks. We'd like particularly right now to thank the people whose names are scrolling on your screen right now for going to our websites and making contributions to our theaters. We've really appreciated this. We truly appreciate all of the support. And we at Freestyle Rep, especially tonight, want to thank the New York State Council on the Arts and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs for their extraordinary efforts to help arts organizations like ours stay in New York, engaging with our audiences in person. And thank you, everyone in our audience here tonight who showed up, and everyone watching this on demand later. That's really the greatest support that you can give to a theater, just showing up. 4 theater companies, in addition to Freestyle Rep, are represented by tonight's playwrights. Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California, Mopco Improv Theater in Schenectady, New York, the Metropolitan Playhouse here in New York City, and the Monday Night Playground in California's Bay Area. And all of them, through snowstorms, Omicron, what have you, all of them are working to bring live theater back. There's probably a theater wherever you live that's working to bring live theater back. Please help them out. Keep showing up. Thank you. Let's get our playwrights back on the screen for one last round of applause. And we hope you'll tune in to join us for next month's Right Away. It's March 21st. Ken, Mike, and I will be joined by Clara Rodriguez and Rich Perez. And you can register now by clicking on any of the link, either the link for Synergy Theater, which is for those watching this on video, synergytheater.com, or Freestyle Repertory Theater, which is freestylerep.org. You can register for March or April's upcoming Right Away. All right, one last bow for the playwrights. We'll be saying good night. Thank you, Delicia. Thank you for all of you for your comments in the chat. And if you're staying for the talk back, pop your camera back on, pop your microphone on. If you're not, good night. Thank you so much for coming. All right. All right. Thank you, Catherine. It's great to see so many people here. All right, Kat.
Well, well. And now is that moment. Think about your questions that you have. I will start us off with a burning question, which is this question that I've been previewing all night, which was, how was it to get connected suggestions for the first time ever? I would love to hear from the playwrights. Laura Valpy, get us started.
When the second suggestion came in, I thought, oh, isn't that sweet that the audience is trying to help us by trying to keep it together, you know, and try to keep it cohesive. But then, so I wasn't even at that point, I didn't think that it was totally intentional. So I was totally surprised by the third and the fourth.
So then the third and the fourth time happened, you were like, very nice.
What a great surprise.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Hello, Ken.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I thought it was wonderful. I loved it. And it prevented me from doing what I always do, which is just kind of pay lip service to the suggestion and then move on my merry way. This really forced the suggestion to be an integral part of the writing and forced me to give up control in a way that I found very exciting. And before I move on, can I just go, Laura, when you were listing the theater companies represented here tonight, I think you omitted Freestyle Repertory Theater. And that would be a grave mistake because personally speaking, there would not be a Synergy Theater if not for Freestyle Repertory Theater. So please never forget to mention that again.
Oh, thank you, Ken. I talked about Freestyle Rep nonstop during the jam. Nobody got to write anything, though. Thank you, Ken. Thanks.
Yes, Laura.
I want to add one more thing, especially after what Ken said. The not just, you know, playing lip service and making sure to keep it integral, especially after making it fly. In mine, it was make it fly by like tossing it away. Literally tossing it away.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, gotta get it back somehow. I think someone else did that too.
And you were
Couple
not
of
the
them.
only one. I was going to say you were not the only one.
Exactly.
Anybody else want to share their experiences, either of like getting the suggestion or how it influenced you, or
How did you ask?
So
Was it
Laura, you
always?
want to talk about your brainchild here a little bit?
Yeah. First of all, I had this brainchild because I was supposed to be planning the jam and I couldn't think of anything. And then I heard you do this. And I really thought, as you said, Ken, I was thinking it's a way almost of like us in the jam insisting that you take our suggestion. And so I said, first one was finish this sentence, look at this blank and make it an object. And then the next one was a character does something with or to that object. What is it? And we had a lot of suggestions about the object doing something, but we took one that was actually one of the characters doing something to the object. And then the soldier does something back, and we loved the reminds them of their father, because we thought, the soldier could talk or it could inspire a monologue or whatever. And then the last one was we wanted a theatrical convention, and that was, we had to, I think I suffered a lot in that one, and Kat finally coalesced what it was we were asking for. And we just thought you can't get more theater-y than climbing up in the flies and dropping the curtain. I think the suggestion that was. Yeah, so that was what we did.
That was the Pirandello moment, wasn't it? Yes. where we reveal that we're in a theater and it's a play.
Well, it was amazing, really, wasn't it? In the theme in so many of these plays were being actors and or on a stage set or a film set. That was a sort of theme tonight, which isn't often the case. It was sort of interesting about that.
That's true. I didn't think of it when we took the suggestion. Oh, Gregory Lawrence.
I'm just trying to figure out what I can write to go with, or to write for Michael with that wolf voice, that happy wolf voice he did. The wolf voice, I couldn't stop laughing. I was sitting there, I couldn't pay attention to the scene because that like really happy and got bad intentions, but there was so much warmth to it. It was like what Michael's version of a wolf. I couldn't stop laughing. It was brilliant, just brilliant. I want to write something with that in mind. You have inspired me completely with that.
Oh man, post it in right away afterwards. There were a lot of things, playwrights in the jam that people read, and other people were saying, I want to know what happens next, or I can imagine the scene around it. I would always love to know if something more happens.
Or like it is a real Wall Street guy, but he talks like that, does that voice. Oh, it would be so cool.
Yeah, it was nice to have the recurring theme, the recurring, this, because a play will have that kind of thread that carries throughout. And oftentimes we may miss that in our barrage of various suggestions that take us in a lot of different places. So it was really, really nice to have that kind of, that lovely little object that things could coalesce around.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
I loved it. I thought it was beautiful.
I was thinking about the actors playing animals that we had so much of tonight, and it just crossed my mind that I'm the last person in the world who would sit down and watch videos of past shows, but I wish we had our own Peter Jackson who could put together a montage of the animal videos. But something that was said earlier, and I think maybe Ken and Alex can really speak to this, these Zoom plays that people have been doing. Ken's done a lot of Zoom things that were developed improv formats that were developed for Zoom. And Alex has been doing a lot of scripted plays from earlier periods, one acts with lots of production values around them and almost animation, and it really makes me think of improv on stage, where because you're miming objects, you can have anything, you can go anywhere. And I think last month Jeff Tarson was talking about how it's almost radio-like, and I wondered if Alex and Ken could speak a bit about the different dimension that we've gone into a bit, or starting to explore with this new media.
I really want to hear what Ken has to say about that.
Do you, Alex? Thank you. So when we were creating shows for Zoom, they were improvised, not written. And there were two approaches we took, and both of them were quite interesting. The first approach was, could we design a show that would only work on Zoom? So not making the best of the situation, but if we had our druthers, this is how we would do it. So for example, one show that we came up with that I liked quite a bit was called The Museum of Art, or something like that. And we all played pictures hanging on the wall in a museum. And we played famous pictures. So we got the backgrounds to the famous pictures and dressed up like the main character. And the whole drama took place between the three pictures hanging on the wall. So the characters literally could not move. And it was staged on the screen exactly like you were looking at a wall full of pictures. And that was a great deal of fun. My original idea was that everything we do on Zoom would be like that. But in fact, that's not what happened. It turned out to be kind of challenging to come up with too many ideas like that. And other people had such wonderful ideas that just didn't fit into that. But the other thing was fun too, which was just kind of doing a play. And we had fun backgrounds that we would change to be in different scenes. And we just looked at each other and acted. And what I was surprised at was how immediate it felt. It really did feel like you were very close to a person and very intimate, and you could make eye contact and exchange emotional energy back and forth. So both experiments, coming up with shows designed for the Zoom screen or just pretending we were on stage together and acting, really developed our skills in a lot of ways that would not have been developed had we not had this opportunity forced upon us. Now, I really want to hear what Alex has to say.
I really just stand behind what Ken said. I think if there were anything to add, I've been really interested, and I've been really interested when we do these, the two times I've done this actually, in thinking constantly about that relationship. What is the audience seeing? We had one actor and director who, when I asked her to do a show, and she said, well, it's really about the voices. It's only about the voices. It's not about the visual. And I thought, no, that's like, to me, that's completely wrong, because we have the visual in such a different way. And and it's thrilling to see people act and make up, and play to the camera, or just sort of be alive. And that's great. And you get these wonderful close-ups, which you either exploit or just are the part of it. And so there's nothing wrong with a really, really good, I'm just reading and the camera's watching me. But I've really enjoyed continuing to play with, how one is looking at the camera or creating a space beyond the camera. And it was really fun. Both shows tonight, I've been very conscious even in these about how are we playing to the camera. Although I have to say, in writing them, it never even crossed my mind. It did not, and I kind of wish I were thinking about that. I mean, that would be the next level if I were actually, a professional. But I think that's really, and that just reinforces the reason that it really is a reinforcement of what Ken says is that I think to everybody I've ever heard, over the last couple of years, heard talk about this, we're making the best of a terrible situation, just makes my heart sink. Not because that's not also true, but the best you can make of it is to respond to it as a new medium and an infinity of opportunities. And I love seeing people take advantage of those and embrace those opportunities. I wish I'd seen both those shows because it's just great. I wish I'd seen both ones. Ken described as the two kind of object lessons.
Well, you're in luck because I believe you can see all of it, and they use Synergy Theater YouTube channel. So go take a look. There's some wonderful things.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. But I wish I would. I wish I were the kind of guy who would do that.
I know there's a whole lot of things out there competing for your attention. I wanted to say, Alex, there were a couple of thoughts about what you were saying. One of them was you were doing some very interesting things as an actor tonight, I thought, in terms of your relationship to the camera as the wooden soldier, that I'm assuming you were doing deliberately, right? About sort of how you're placing yourself, looking or not
Pretty
looking.
wooden, actually.
Right? Not looking and then looking at some point, that I thought was really fascinating. So go back and look if you want.
It was really fun to have the opportunity, and it's not I mean, let me give a little nod to improvisation. It hadn't occurred to me beforehand, except that I put the script over here and I thought, okay, I can probably just look at it that way. But yeah, it was really fun to have that opportunity.
Nice. It strikes me that that this really is more of a, I mean, this is a film medium, it seems to me, right? More than it's a stage medium. And it's interesting to me, the skills we learn, Ken, as you're talking about being more intimate, right? The acting skills that we learn interacting like this that are different from being on stage. And how do we bring that back with us? Or I'm curious about what's the difference in terms of writing a screenplay or a teleplay as opposed to a stage play? And do we think about that at all as writers when we're given these assignments? Or do we just throw all caution to or do we just write plays? And we talk sometimes about not having the limitations of being on a stage when we write these, but I'm curious about that. Ken?
It is really very interesting because it is a whole different thing. So I'm writing a play, and in my mind, I'm writing a play that would take place on a stage in front of an audience, but I know it doesn't really have to. And I know that the actors are just going to read it, and I'm going to read stage directions, and the audience will lend their imaginations in a way that they are not called upon when it's really on stage. So it's kind of like this fantasy play that we're pretending is on a stage, but there's some other meta level above it because in fact it's not, and it's not held to any of those restrictions, which is incredibly fun and impish.
We're writing metaverse plays. Yeah, anyone else?
A thing that that you make me think of is the physical life. I think everyone's been, in a way, talking about the physical life of a play. I was talking to Lisa about, I got to see the video of her play that was just staged, and it struck me as being quite theatrical in that where it was and what people were doing was so important. It's not just people talking. For instance, the fact that, Ken, that you asked us to be obviously hummingbirds, I think that really informed the whole thing to me. I mean, Laura Valpy, I'm imagine you feel the same, but I saw us both, like start like this and then go like, oh. and then it just, it affected my voice, my belief that there was a flower in front of me. I think that when playwrights and screenwriters write things or offer things that are not said but are done, it's really helpful and interesting. And the fact that to be thinking of what it's like on on boxes next to each other. It's interesting that people are thinking that way.
The other thing that was interesting about designing the plays like the Museum of Art, where the characters were literally hanging on a wall and couldn't move, was thinking about really being restricted to dialogue as the only way of telling the story. So whereas in other mediums, you could move, you can get up on stage, right? You could walk across and pull out a sword and have a sword fight, or even on Zoom, when you're pretending that it's live, you could do all of those things. But when you're just a picture on a wall, or we did this other scene where the 4 characters were trapped in a room together. They were the last 4 people on Earth and they couldn't go anywhere. So it was just them sitting and talking. And it really forces you to develop the skill as an improviser of having action through dialogue. Telling the story, having dramatic movement and raising the stakes and having conflict and resolving all through dialogue without any other tools available to you. And that was very challenging. And also a very exciting learning curve for us.
I'd like to say too, and I'm not adding on. I'm actually saying something different from what you're saying, but just the exploration of this art form, that the Metropolitan Playhouse, Alex's theater, has used what is available technologically, almost, I think I was saying earlier, almost like animation. What can we do now that the actors are still, like if we want to make them look like they're moving, how can we move the background behind them, and how would they move to make that happen? And also sometimes Alex will move the frame that they're in, or change the shape of it or change the color of it. So that, well, I was directing a play that was serious, and I said, they go up to the corner and then they leave. And he said, actually, sometimes that's funny. Maybe they should go up to the corner and we fade them out, and it was a huge difference that I had actually seen examples that were done in other productions at the virtual playhouse, but it hadn't registered that was the effect. And he directed a melodrama that sometimes he would just, their picture would just go, which you couldn't do on stage, but it was, he's doing it now. And I directed and am going to direct another play by a very surrealistic playwright who I would never understand or do on stage. That he has people, break into ritualized motion and stuff, and I don't get why. But when I think about it, on like the one I directed, they were to change into some ritualistic motions as they reached across the table. They were sitting on either side of the table, and their motion would change. Well, we changed them into cartoons whenever they reached across. We had them sit like this, and whenever they reached across, their arm would change into a cartoon. And it just was unspeakably difficult technically, and I was bashing my head against a wall while it was being done live. But it had that almost like abstract dance quality that I think the playwright actually was going for back in the 1920s or whenever he wrote, of just like the audience going like, how do I synthesize this, and coming up with their own thoughts, like you do when you're seeing abstract art or theater, or dance or something. So I guess I'm saying, yes, Ken, you're talking about it being so focused on the dialogue, and I'm thinking, and we're also thinking about what if it is visual only in this medium, and what can we do, and what is the effect of a simple thing like an exit?
Yeah. I actually have a question for Alex, building on that a bit, which is, I'm curious because I did see some of your online shows, the one that Mike and Laura directed or Mike was in. And, the technology was so impressive and so artistic. And I was curious about, like, what was your process going from just, a fellow producing theater in the traditional theater to this COVID thing happening? How did you go from there to so fully embracing that new challenge above and beyond what many people did?
I think I want to speak to the people who didn't, who resisted it, because I did talk with some. I have just had different conversations with people, and some people were just really stuck in, I'm not interested in it, I don't want to do it, and there was this real rejection of it. And God bless people for feeling that way, but I feel like it was a logical extension of what at least Laura and I have tried to do at Metropolitan, in the shows that we've directed live. And so I'm because I'm so obsessed with the tech. And in fact, I spent some of today putting together a show that we did in December, but I didn't like the way it worked. And I finally got the final version of it. So I want to stay away from getting caught on my hobby horse. But every single thing we figured out how to do, including turning people into cartoons and moving them around and figuring out how to make somebody collapse. I was going to see if I can make myself collapse that way. And I think, yeah, like that. It's like I fall over and then I'm, whoa, here I am. And doing that is so fun and so, to me, absolutely theatrical. It's using the video technology to do exactly the kind of stuff I aspire to do on stage, but in ways it's like there are no limits. I'd have no idea how to work on films or direct films, and that's a whole scary thing. But it's to me it's kind of the same. It's just like, well, here's what we can do here, and if I want to fade somebody out, I can just swipe across them. And if I want to bring them back, oh, there they are. That's kind of cool. And then it's like, well, is that funny? Would it be better if they faded out or is it funnier if, they're over here and we want to move them up? We go, oh yeah, move them up here. Well, that's kind of comical. And that's the kind of thing Laura was talking about. So being able to do it, making those discoveries is exactly like staging a play to me. That's about as short an answer as you'll ever get from me.
There was a thing too, Alex, that I hadn't realized that you realized pretty early, that when we were talking, Alex used designers, set designers for, and he realized early on that you didn't really want particularly a set designer for the Zoom shows, because what is a set designer? There's somebody who understands how to build it, how to move it, and how it's going to work. Does it support weight? Can an actor jump on it? Stuff like that. He needed visual artists, painters and drawers and cartoonists who can convey stuff in 2 dimensions. And to me, that was like, now I think like, well, yeah, obviously. But that you could signal the audience at the beginning of a show that it was, say, comic, because it was furniture with black lines around it or something, which in a way that you can't, I suppose you can, and good designers do, but it's not so obvious. You can't have a monochromatic set really on a real stage, but just that kind of just like basic shift in thought that a set designer for Zoom is really a painter or somebody who can draw, as opposed to what we always call a set designer up until we always had to use Zoom.
Mm-hmm. But I want to give credit, not to just speak more, but to my wife for being the one who said, graphic art, these things are like cartoons. It's a 2-dimensional medium in a certain way. And so maybe graphic art is really what you want more than that creation of a 3-dimensional thing. And so Natasha gets credit for actually thinking that. And then I happen to know a bunch of really good painters who were interested in doing it, and drawers. But also we did a couple, and only a couple, that actually did try and create a 3-dimensional space. And even though they painted, one of them was painted and one of them was with a photograph. And they were really cool also, but then they were like films, which is what we were talking about earlier. And the actors really had to sort of, do this and be here and walk on and off camera. And that was cool, because it's like, oh, look, we did it, but not, I think, nearly to me as interesting as putting people in this 2-dimensional interesting. I have a lot more fun trying to figure out how to manipulate stuff against the graphic art that you described, and embracing that side of the medium rather than pretending we're shooting a film. Although, but to just give a nod to the fun of shooting film, because it is, if you can do that and create the environment and create the lighting effects, that too is an achievement and satisfying in a different way.
Cool. Well, folks, seems like we've come to a stopping place. I appreciate people's thoughts and just people listening. I so much look forward to next month and hope to see many people back at that. And just want to thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Delightful work. Pleasure.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Great job, Laura.
Hey, Ken. A great job all around. Man, they were some good scripts.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. We just have to keep having Alex in the show. So he's a delightful addition to it. Even if he didn't bring 100 people, it would still be nice to have him around.
Well, you know, and he did a ton of stuff to get people in. I mean, I got an email from the Metropolitan Playhouse. So that means all of his email list got an email, and he wrote a lot about it. And, you know, on Facebook, he said, you know, how Mike and I, what we'd done at his theater and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And
yeah, he seems like a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. All
right. Congratulations.
Same to you. And I do want to, I was reading a play that I wrote, and things happened in it, and everything had a consequence, and it built and built, and it had like, and it was very conceptual and weird, but it just like had this, and I thought,